guys. Rick Shaw here. It's the 2nd of May. This is our moving day. Truck should be here in a few hours. I got putting some stuff, light stuff in and reaching up on the shelves and just put the backs just out now. I'm just hopping around. Went to bed early. Faye and her mom and her brother are boxing. They boxed a lot of stuff up. I did get a little bit of sleep, but back's just shot. Yesterday, we went down to see the kids' doctor, the pediatrician that we've gone to since they were born, and she's like on Seinfeld. She's a low talker, and plus with the mask, I was having a hard time here. I am a little bit hard of hearing, but like Faye, I hear her just fine. I can hear her mom, I can hear the kids, but this woman's a low talker. And like I say, with that mask, and then when I told her I can't hear you when she was talking to us, and then she started hollering, and it was just like static on the radio, like Charlie Brown's teacher. I couldn't hardly understand this woman to save my life, and this is pretty important. But what I was getting from it, she looked at the blood work and said Momo's iron was a little bit low, not much, just a little. Gave him some iron supplement, some vitamin C, and we do have the vitamins here that we take. We mix it up. It's the Tangy Tangerine 2.0. Mix that up. I did get an old canister that had made me sick feeling in the past, but all the rest of them are still in date. They still got till the end of this year. But she was like, she wasn't worried. She just said pneumonia, and I said, you know what this is? And I pointed that out. And she, oh, he'll be fine. Good thing we caught it early. So I don't know if that lady doesn't want to give people news, or whether she thought it was a mixed diagnosis. I don't know. We still have to go check somewhere else and see what's going on. But we have that planned anyway. But I did a little bit more reading on this stuff, and it's so rare. Now in England, it doesn't seem to be. They said they get about 50,000 cases a year. But it's mostly older folks. I'm getting a lot of you guys are leaving in the comments the same thing. So I'm still not sure that going to the doctor yesterday, it was just more confusing than anything else. And getting in and out of these hospitals is ridiculous. We have to still come up this way, because my wife was saying there's some of these hospitals in Batangas that if you just walking in the door, it's a COVID hospital, boom, you're in two weeks quarantine. So I'm not getting that at all. So I also seen for the Billy Buy-ins and stuff like that, they after May 1 they should be letting them back in. I saw that on Grandpa Vlogger's site. I hope that's the case. I hope they open her up for tourists pretty soon. But these numbers with these cases that they keep hitting using a faulty test, it's not good. Now you're hearing all this stuff in India. That it's just this massive thing, and I'm not sure what's really driving that. I'm not sure at all. But we'll see. I'm glad the doctor, when we were in there the other day, didn't push to get him a COVID test or try to give him a vaccine or anything like that. I remember before, when we were in there, this lady was pushing for a lot of vaccines. I told my wife we got to find somebody else. I'm not really into those. Just not. There's some good. I know here, like the polio, and you got to get a couple shots for school. That's for sure. But when they come now, all of a sudden, they want to try to get these kids 15, 16 shots and all that stuff, with all the metals and things in them, the preservatives. And I'm just like, I just not into all these dang shots that they try to give you. But we'll keep looking at him. You know, when I look at him last night, before I did fall asleep, we were playing in on the living room, and he's just a typical 4-year-old boy. He's got energy abounding, and he'll wear you out. It's just amazing. You know, he just about wore me out last night. I had to stay sitting because this dang back, it seemed like the reaching is what really got me. So, but this is our big day. Like I said, the truck will be here in a couple hours. We got a jeepney coming too for all the dressers and stuff. We're giving her mom and her brothers and them a bunch of stuff, a bunch of the older pots and pans and stuff like that, that we've been using for, you know, since I've been here, because we bought all brand new. Good stuff, nice pressure cooker, some fans and stuff like that. I told my wife when we get to the house, we're going to go ahead and buy what we need, because like this big fan I have on the wall, yeah, that's great, but there's no place for it in the new house. It's too big and stupid. Here it worked out perfect. I bought it just because we were here. It's a great fan. It moves a lot of air, but I said in our little house it's just too loud. When we were in the store the other day, we were at a really nice True Value over there in Batangas, and I was checking out fans, and the problem with a lot of them, they were just too noisy. And fans here don't have a history of lasting long. I mean, I've had fans last a couple months and burned out. I had bought my mother, this was back in about 84. I was at the store, and she's a little hard of hearing. She used to get like wax balls and stuff. When I'd go to visit her, I'd clean her ears out for her. And it's like me, background noise makes things worse. So I was in the store, I was in a Sears and Roebuck, and they had this thing called the wind machine. It sat on the floor, good size fan. It had to be 24-inch round fan, and it was advertising it was the quietest, and you could see the little strings off the front of it. It was blowing, and I went up to that and I actually turned the other ones off, and I was like, man, this thing is incredibly quiet. So I went ahead and bought it for her, and she used that fan all the time. She's like me, she just doesn't like air conditioning, won't have it, never even put it in her car. Her new car she had, her air conditioning, good thing they have it in on the defroster, otherwise it would just go bad from non-use. You know, she just won't use it, she don't like it. And me too, I don't like it much either. And then she's going to move from her big house, the family home that she's in for many years, and she's downsizing. And when she gets to the new place, she's got no place for the fan. So this is in probably 96, from 84 to 90, gives it to me. And worked fine. It works great, fired up every time, works great, still quiet, you know. And I had the thing all the way up until, ran it till 2002, and then I got divorced and it disappeared after that. But that dang thing ran from 84 that I know of all the way to 2002. So, you know, good fan. Did have a GE motor, I know that for sure. And I just wish we could buy a fan like that here. We do have, it was two Japanese fans, and I was saying how good they worked, you know, and the one of them works perfectly, flawlessly, still works, oscillating job. And I was saying how good the little one worked too, that sat on the floor, and pretty quiet. This was one of the reasons I bought it. It wasn't too loud, the quietest I could find at the time. And then the little one quit, you know, like that. But I have to say it lasted, you know what, it was from the old house, so 3.5 years maybe it lasted. But you got to get used to that when you come here. When it comes to buying appliances, you know, I've had stuff that coffee pot that melted. You know, stuff just quits. Get stuff that just doesn't work right off the bat. Places don't want to take it back. Our little teacher got married, and Faye bought her a fan, and you know, a really nice fan, big one, and so she gets it and gives it to her, and we bought it from the 167. Well, by the time she gave it back, because it burned up in the back, it's burned up, started on fire on the inside. The 7 days was passed, so they wouldn't refund it, so she had to take it back. But we took it back and then told her, okay, here's the ticket for it. When they fix it, you'll just go pick it up. And then we gave her a real nice electric grill. It seemed like it was real popular. I bought one off of Lazada, and it was only 350 pesos. For this good-sized electric grill. I'd say it was 18 inches by 12, and works great. Fantastic, easy to clean. Comes all apart with electrical element, and we bought it and used it. We've had it a couple years since we've been here, and everybody who's seen it liked it. So I saw them on sale with free shipping, so I bought. I think the first time I bought 3, and we give them away. And then this last time I bought 4. We give her mom one, her brother got one, and and everybody thinks, and our friend Rain and Odin, everybody thinks these things are like super expensive. It's like $7. So I'm just thinking to myself, it's like a great stocking stuffer. You just need a real big stocking, but. Hope I'm not rambling too much. I'm just trying to walk this damn thing off. It's about 2 in the morning now. I've been up walking this for a bit. At least the dog quit barking at me. I'm walking up and down the street, and these dang dogs want to harass me at night. I just get sick of this. I'm so glad we're going to be getting out. And if I run into this trouble where we're moving, I'm going to do something drastic to take care of these dogs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but when I was over there the last time, I took a little hike. My leg went, and my back was real sore. So I started hiking around, and I'm walking down the street. Sure enough, right in the middle of the street's a dog pie, and I'm like, I didn't see any dog or anything, but it's like, oh gosh, well, we're starting with this again. I hate that when you're walking down the street at night. You got to have a flashlight just so you don't step in this. And I'm going to push the issue with these new people. We were in their office already about the sticker, but I guess the sticker lady wasn't there. It was in her desk and locked. We're supposed to get a sticker for this. They told us when the garbage was. That place doesn't come to our door and pick up the garbage. We have to take it to the outside. We have to take it out to the gate, and they do that twice a week, and it's very odd. They said Tuesdays and Thursdays, so instead of spread out through the week, I told my wife we'll just take it down once. And the construction guys were burning stuff, so when we get there, a lot of the boxes, we'll just go ahead and burn those, throw the plastic away. But my wife picked up a bunch of rice sacks for us. I'm going to get somebody to make a metal bracket thing. I'm surprised they don't do that here already. But I got to get a welder, and I'd like to weld up some brackets, get some stainless and some stainless rods, and make some nice brackets for the air conditioner. I got the design in mind, and then I'll make it just to fit. This air conditioner, because I want to make sure that air conditioner, doesn't fall out and kill somebody. Whether it falls inside the house or out. I've seen that happen. I was up in Canada, and place had a window air conditioner, and it'd been in there in that window for years, and I never touched it. I was in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I heard like this, and it fell 2 stories down and crashed into the ground. It was like at a hotel place, and it was like, whoa. And it was just it just gave way, and they came and they were asking me, oh, did you shove it, or what were you doing? It wasn't even running. Dang thing wasn't even running. And no, that's it. If somebody would have been walking down there on the sidewalk, they'd have been done for, because it was about a 1 horsepower unit, and pretty heavy. So I just think about that when I'm putting this in, because I'd hate for it to even fall inside from vibration or anything. Plug those air conditioners in. They're incredibly quiet. I was just in disbelief. I always worried about the window. A lot of people like this, these people are running their air now right over here. And it's all outside, and you can hear the fan, and it's real loud. But inside, they're super quiet, these split-type units. But a lot of times, these little units are loud. But not this one. I was really impressed how quiet. I just did them from sitting on top of the box. They're on like bolted to a wooden board inside the box, and I just on the wooden board plugged it in just to see, and super quiet. I turned it up to full, both of them fired up and worked. I want to do that so I could do a review on them here pretty quick, and then I'll have to get somebody once I make the bracket to put them up there, because I'm getting to the point where I'm just afraid to pick anything up. This thing back, this is the worst it's been in a couple years. I don't know why. It's starting to ease up now, because every morning I get up and do this. I stretched. I got up at 1:30 and 1:15, and I stretched for a good 20 minutes, and then I get out here and I start walking and start easy and go as best I can. It's feeling better. But we got this big move, and then I think the stress of what's going on with my little man, and not sleeping. My ears are ringing. That don't hardly ever happen to me. My ears have been ringing for like 3 days, and just stress. I know I shouldn't. You shouldn't stress on any of this stuff, but it's tough. I've been stressing. That's all there is to it. Even my wife is. She's a little bit testy now. I went to do some stuff, put some stuff in a box, my clothes and stuff yesterday, and she just said she had a fit. I want to do that. Oh, fine. Okay, great, do it. I was just trying to help, but. So I understand it, though. I understand. She handles stress a little bit differently than I do. And she's definitely being stressed with this. Coming out of the doctor yesterday, I think it confused us more than anything else. Because she's one that'll just sit and do what she's told. If a doctor tells her something, she'll just do it. We had a trouble with the doctor with her before. When she was pregnant, her blood sugar went through the roof, and immediately the doctor wanted to put her on insulin. And I was like, she's got a baby in there. This stuff's cultivated in the pancreas of a pig. You're not putting that in my wife. And they were looking at me like, how dare you speak to me this way, And I'm like, no, you're an idiot. And I took her home, and I cut her rice down to 1 cup, because I'm not kidding. She was gorging on 4 or 5 cups of rice each meal. I cut her down to that. I got rid of all of her Mountain Dews. She was drinking a couple of Mountain Dews a day, and the sugar in the coffee. Hey, learn to drink it black. Sorry. And did all that, and got a blood sugar tester and all that. And this is no kidding. It wasn't much over a week, and we had her sugar into the normal range. Went and got retested, and they didn't like me down there, because I went in there and said, hey, something, doc, there's a good profession out here. They need a lot of workers, garbage men, And they don't. I've been thrown out of 2 hospitals here because, these doctors, it's like they'll go to doctor school, and then this one guy I went to when I had trouble with my heart, they took me over there from work, and this old guy, this fossil, came in, and he started talking, and they had all these little, like, groupies. He had groupies, and this guy was old, and he's trying to prescribe this, that, and the other, and I'm talking to him about it, and he didn't like the fact that I knew something about what I was talking about, and he got pissed off and threw me out of the hospital. Here, I'm in distress. I'm in a distress with my heart. And this guy, I told him, I says, what's the matter with you? Would you graduate in 1939 and you just stopped learning? And he got pissed and threw me out of his hospital. This is my hospital. Get out of here, and had me put out of the hospital. And my heart at that time was doing about 155. And this is what you run into in this place. You run into these. They treat them like they're dang gods here, and something, they're just men and women just like we are. Put their pants on like we are. And I'm used to going to ones, you find a good one, and you stick with them. They know what they're doing. They keep up to date. They're reading all the journals. It's like my one buddy, he was starting to get Alzheimer's. I said, hey, you ought to go see my doc. And he said, okay, we want you in for a thing. And he's an Indian guy, wants you in for a thing and bring all your medicines, everything you're taking. And immediately he took him off like 5 different medicines. And this was years ago. This was 10 years ago. And the guy, he's up now. He's probably about 78 years old now. And his Alzheimer's just diminished so bad, he doesn't drive anymore. But he got him on some vitamins and minerals, and took him off of the Lipitor. The guy didn't have any kind of heart problem at all, but they said, oh, your cholesterol's high. So immediately they put him on Lipitor, and it just turns your brain to mush. You guys ought to know that by now. It's just a big seller. So the pharmaceutical companies are pushing it, and they pay the doctors to get you to take it. And I'm to the point now that used to be when I was young, doctors were in it to help people, and now I believe doctors are in it to get rich, a lot of them. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good ones too, but there's some there, they're in it for the money. And you look at medical malpractice, how many it kills. They talk about this convent stuff that's going on now. It pales in comparison to how much medical malpractice kills people. I remember my buddy Richie. His sugar was a little bit off. They said, hey, we want to get you in the hospital. He was losing weight too quickly. He met a girl and he wanted to lose a bunch of weight, and he did it too quickly, so his sugar got all discombobulated. And so we took him in, and that was on a Thursday. We were at the funeral on Saturday. Gave him a staph infection at the hospital because somebody didn't clean a bug up when they were done. And we've run into this. A lot of times. They just... some of them, just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they're good. It's just like an auto mechanic. There's good ones and there's bad ones. That's all there is to it. Electricians too. Look at what I'm running into here at the house, and plumbers. I still just am shocked with this plumber, and they wouldn't go my way. They had to put this dang Instahot up in the cupboard because that's the way they do it in the shower. So this plumber got in his head, no, it won't work. And then I said, no, I don't care. Leave it on me. Just put it down in the bottom under the sink. No, they wouldn't do it. Our plumber said, no, he won't do that. So I got a Instahot in a big cupboard where I need all the space I can get. So like there's good ones and bad ones. So that's how she rolls. Well, I don't want to ramble too much on you. I'm just can't sleep. So getting my water in and easy walk. I'm going to go do a pretty big hike here in a little bit. I'm starting to feel better already. I'm just going to watch picking anything up. I wasn't really picking up a lot. It was just I was reaching up on the shelves, so I got to watch that. And I did all my stretching, and that definitely helped. My back actually thumped into place. It's been years ago. It always hit me in the right leg, and what I went through in the right leg with the muscle wasting and all this and the weakness. Can't stand up on my toe anymore. It just there's no strength in the foot at all. It just goes right down to my heel. And now the same thing is happening over on the left side. With this, I know a lot of you guys say, oh, well, you can go in and maybe get another surgery and all this. Well, surgeries are all done with me. I had 3. I had one just to reconstruct because it was compression fracture. If you look at my back, it's there's scoliosis. It's basically, it looks like the discs look like a milk bone and 2 wedges. So as I get weight on me, it's pushing them out. It's opposing wedges with a milk bone in between. So that they had to cut that open, laminectomy, to make space. And what's happening now is the scar tissue in there. There are certain times it swells. They want to put you on Solumedrol and Decadron and all that kind of stuff. And I did that one time, and yeah, it worked, but my goodness, it just shrinks everything. And I read a lot of stuff on it that people who get it on a regular basis, it tears their heart up. It's hard on the brain, because when you're shrinking that other stuff, I don't need my brain shrunk anymore. But so I pretty much grin and bear it all through the years. If I was going into the hospital, when it would really go out and I had to go in. Had a very understanding boss, and they'd give me the Demerol with the Vistaril chaser, and my doctor was an Indian, and I said, Doc, this stuff isn't working that great. You're giving the same shot to a 100-pound woman. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So heat up the dose, and I'll tell you what, when I'm in the hospital, that's great stuff. Yeah. But when I'm out, I just refuse to take anything. I'll take aspirin. I don't take Tylenol. By the way, that's the number one, if you're going to take pills, that's the number one way to do a suicide. My brother-in-law did that. He walked into a Walmart right in front of a camera, got a bunch of them big Tylenols, the capsule ones, and stood in front of the camera with a bottle of whiskey and poured them down his throat and drank the whiskey, and they found him in his car the next morning, dead as a doornail. So I won't take that kind of stuff. I've been offered all kinds of drugs, even here. I just refuse to take them, guys. I'm just not going to do it. I'm afraid I might like them, But I know in the hospital I did. I'd take them when I was in there. But that's the only place. I don't mess with that kind of stuff. I drink a beer every now and again. But when it comes to dope or drugs, I'm under the same thing that you can get hooked on the prescription drugs just like you can on the street drugs. I've seen it. I had a nephew that he reminded me of Dr. House, and he was eating those blue pills. I forget what they are, opiates or of some sort. I forget what they called them, but he was eating them things like candy, for pain. And it's just, I don't want to get into that. That's for sure. When I was young, growing up, I was very fortunate. I had some friends that were druggies, and I got to see what was happening with them and the troubles it caused them. And I just, even as young, you just couldn't give me the stuff. I just didn't mess with it. Like I say, I was afraid I would like it. And when I seen what happened to them, I was like, nope, this ain't going to happen to me. I'm just going to stay away from that. And I do know some guys. I remember that commercial they had, dope never did nothing to me, and they're in the mother's basement and they're in their 30s, and this is your brain on drugs and stuff. And I do know some people that smoked marijuana heavily, and now that they're in their 60s, guys, they're shot. I'm telling you, a lot of them, not all of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are shot, and they don't know it. They do not know it. I went golfing with a group of guys before I came here. It was my last hurrah. I got pictures of it, and the one dude was really toking on the stuff bad, and he was trashing this beautiful, we had these Yamaha golf carts, electric ones, and these things were super nice, and we were at a really nice golf, and this guy's smashing up high curbs and stuff. I'm talking these curbs were real high, and he's driving on the, just trashing the place, and I'm like, what's the matter with you? And he's toking on his doobie, and it's like, don't do that. We're in a golf course. You put on a night. This place you had to have collars on. It was an outing that we went to. I got invited to, and when you go to a place like that, it's a special place. It's a special park that you get to go to and chase a ball, and you don't, abuse the place. And the way he was smashing, then the dude I was with, he was smoking away. All of these guys I went with were, and he started driving. I said, hey, look, don't do that. You don't do that in this with me in here. What are you, nuts? I don't want to get kicked out of this place because it's something you do. And he chilled. That guy chilled. So it's not all of them that go crazy, but I don't get some folks like that. But I do know some guys who, I remember when we were in high school, they'd be token on a number. And now that they're in their 60s, their brains mush. That's what my mom always called them, mush brains. But well, I don't know what time it is. It's got to be getting close to 3. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and don't forget to pray for each other. We got the truck, 2 truck, actually a jeepney and a truck will be here at 5. I got to get the car moved out of the way, get some coffee in me. As soon as I'm done talking to you guys, I'm gonna do my high-speed walk, which is not so high-speed anymore. Sometimes I just got to laugh this off, but I hope the dogs aren't too noisy. I'm going to go get my earmuffs. I know it's goofy, but every morning that I go for a hike, I put my earmuffs on, pull my hair back, and on they go, because I just can't stand the noise of these dogs. When you're walking by these places like this one's open, but some of them that are closed in, when the dogs bark, it's like an echo. And I was never in my entire life one for loud noises. I remember the first time I went to a rock concert was the last time. I'm not into it. I'm not into real loud noises. I remember going to a party one time. This beautiful girl I met said, "Hey, come on, we're going to go to a party." Nobody could even talk. The music was so loud. You had to shout at each other. It's like, well, that's not any kind of. I got up and left. And I seen her later, and she thought I was a real jerk for leaving. And I'm like, what? If I'm going to meet somebody, I'd like to sit and talk. And then she's like, oh, well, maybe we can go out again. No, I don't want to know you. I don't really want to know you. If this is the kind of stuff you want to do, that ain't my bag. So I don't want to take this any further. I just don't like loud noise, and these barking dogs here. It's really aggravating. It's aggravating here. And we get to the new house, if the same sort of stuff happens, there's gonna be something's gonna happen to these dogs. They're gonna get a long ride somewhere. I just ain't gonna go for it. I already planned on getting myself a piece of rigid, and I was gonna send a rope through it, put a hook on it, and so I can make a catch collar. And I'm going to go catch the damn things up, catch them up and take them down to where they take the dogs to. And I don't care, because it says on this new place, you're not allowed to have dogs running around. And if I see any dogs running around, can get close enough to them, I don't care if they're in front of the people's house and they're not in their yard, I'm going to be the dog catcher of that place, and I'm going to catch them up, because I ain't going to put up with living, a lot more of my days in a place like that. Like this place right now. I would be walking down around the corner, but that's where all the dogs are laying now. There's about 12 of them over there now. We got this new one. When I went walking the other night, he would not let me pass. He got in the spot I walk every night. He wouldn't let me pass. Well, I seen him earlier when I had my stick, and he was just sort of growling at me, and I cracked him right in the top of the back. He's limping around now, and when I go walking down there, he gets up and boogies. He's not liking me too much, but the feeling's mutual. And I get people on there saying, "Oh, I'm this mean, rotten son of a gun." Well, you know something? You come here, you guys, and you deal with this crap I got to deal with every day on these stupid dogs. And I had somebody say, "Oh, well, the dogs don't like you because you're carrying a stick." Oh, so now I got to conform to the life of a dog? I remember I'd go walking in the woods when they used to leave dogs out when I'd be hunting or something like that. You seen a dog running chasing a deer, it was just what you did. You shot the damn thing. You don't leave things like that running around, and it's the way it should be here. Don't mind me, I get pretty ticked at this. This is my number one pet peeve here in the Philippines. But I'm gonna let you go, guys. Don't forget to pray for each other, and this is Rick Shaw out.